CVA's AccuraSeries, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment is being sponsored by Capital Sportsman. All right, this week's Pictures of the Week are being brought to you by Flowers Garden Center. Boy, they got a green thumb over there. They got several green thumbs.
They're getting ready.
It's everywhere. 4550 Eatons Creek Road out there in West Nashville. Go by and check them out. Who you got here?
Well, you know, we get pictures a lot of times from our friend Jimmy Choate.
Jimmy Choate.
And this is his granddaughter, Kaylee, with her very first fish.
That's awesome.
And so we want to give a big shout out to Kaylee for that, and hopefully many more to come. And,
I know that fella.
You know this fella here,
I know
don't
that
you?
fella.
This is Terry Carlisle from
Yes.
Cross Plains, Tennessee, with a nice bass. He said it was a chunk in the boat. So you were just talking about chunking and cranking. So
that's it.
Yeah, that's a nice fish.
That's
so
great.
Congratulations to Terry. This here, Danny Hubble sent this picture to us. This is his son Derek with a bass that he caught while visiting Grandpa at Grandpa's house.
Awesome.
So that's a pretty neat thing to get to do at Grandpa's house, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That is.
And then
I
here
know
on the
this
end,
fella too.
Gary Robitaille with another mess of big Kentucky Lake bass. So
you just, I tell you what, if you really want to go catch some big bass, you can't hardly beat Kentucky Lake.
No, it's
just constant.
10 foot high now.
Yeah, it's 10 foot high now. It's past the buck bushes. It's up in the trees.
You guys can send your pictures over to us here at 474 James Robertson Parkway, or better yet, just get them to me on Facebook, and we can get them over here. And like we always say, be sure to give us a little story with it, some names, and let us know who you got in your pictures, and we'd love to share them with everybody. So,
and just a whole lot of pictures ought to be coming in some more. I'm surprised you told me you still have some deer pictures.
I do. We're doing a little substitute.
Yeah, we're doing substitutes.
We've still got some deer pictures, and going to make a push to get some turkey pictures here.
That's right. Long. We got to do that, and so we look forward to that. We have with us tonight Kelly Albert. He is the owner and operator of K9 Fishing Lines, and I'm going to tell you something. Hot thing on the market. I mean, you really came out, Kelly, with just gangbusters. I mean, what I love about the line, and I'm going to go ahead and just tell it because this is what I think is key. You and I talked. The reason that Berkeley and all the other line manufacturers have such a thick, heavy line is because they're trying to cover themselves on their tensile or their strength.
Yeah.
Yours is actually smaller in diameter. It's the same. Your 20 pound compared to somebody else's 20 pound is a difference in night and day.
Yeah, we've got pretty thin diameters, but a lot of strength for that diameter.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think K9 Fishing came up with that really has monopolized a little bit of the market because more fishermen are finding out about it.
It's really grown fast.
Fast.
Yep.
And that's the thing. We want more distance to get away from the boat. We're educating the fish. Come on. These fish are trainable. we're educating them. So, and you go to Gunnersville, I promise you go to Gunnersville Lake, you could throw that frog on the mat all day long at 40 yards.
Yeah.
Or 40 feet, I'm saying, 40 feet, 50 feet. But when you need to be throwing 75 to 80 to get back in that little clear pocket,
yeah,
that's what you need to be doing.
Well, whether it's our braid or our fluorocarbon, there's no doubt we bring the casting distance.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what most fishermen are looking for.
Yeah, it's real slick a slick line, whether it's fluorocarbon or not, and that thinner diameter, it just goes through the guides. And
less resistance.
Yeah, less resistance, and you end up the guy fishing with you is wondering what the heck's going on.
Yeah, yeah. Introduce him to K9.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be asking you by the end of the day.
All right, number one question. How do you spool fluorocarbon or any type of line, fluorocarbon, braid, whatever the case may be, to spinning tackle?
Spinning, all right. Well, let's start with bait cast.
All right, well, let's go bait cast.
The bait cast is what everybody's used to, and that's the easy one. You ask your friend, hey, can you hold this pencil? And it spools off toward your reel, so it comes off the top
towards your reel.
Towards your reel, which is bringing it this direction, so everything flows in a circle.
Right.
It's just like a belt or a pulley.
Okay.
Works great for bait cast. This is a bait cast reel. You turn the handle, it turns, and you just pull it right off the top of that spool. Not much to a bait cast reel, okay? But the problem is a lot of these people are trying to do the old pencil trick, and here, honey, hold this, and I'm going to fill my spinning reel. It doesn't work that way, because the lines, just like this comes off the top, goes over the top and under and does a full circle. You do not want to create line twist. And line twist on a spinning reel will be a nightmare all day long.
All day.
It'll jump off your reel, you'll have these loops, you'll have this and that, and it'll drive you crazy. So the secret to filling a spinning reel is just looking at which direction does that reel turn. All right, if you're looking at it, that reel is turning clockwise.
That's right.
So if we face this spool, you do not do the pencil thing, you face the spool at it, or you can set it flat on the ground. But it has to come off of this spool counterclockwise.
Opposite of the
reel.
Of the what you're looking at.
Yeah, so this reel's going clockwise, that means this will lay flat or straight at it, not that way, but straight at it, counterclockwise. And if you do that, everybody's still on the same page.
There you go.
And then one other thing where people get into trouble with spinning reels is they always flip the bail and then they start reeling. After you flip and cast, just use your hand and flip it over and give the line just a little bit of a tug, which sets the line firm on the spool, and you don't get one of those sneaky little loops in there that'll come back to bite you later.
We should have used that as a tip, because that's a great tip right there.
Yeah.
I do flip mine with my hand. After I make my cast, just pop it with my finger, but I don't do the tug.
You know, every time you cast, let's say you do here, you just made a cast, just flip it over with your hand and just give it a little firm and then go. And you know it's always going to come in and cinch down, and you're not going to get that sneaky little loop that's going to jump out of there 5 minutes later.
And I've had them do that.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
They'll do it.
Cutting line while your buddy's catching fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're messing with this tangle while he's
catching fish, hollering, get the net.
Yeah, he's telling you to get the net. Yep.
Well, okay, that works regardless whether it's fluorocarbon, monofilament, braid.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
just the line.
Yep, doesn't matter. Just bait cast, it's over and around, just like a pulley. The spinning, it's always look at your reel, it's turning clockwise. That means we got to come on counterclockwise off the spool. And then if you just want to, if you get confused, I don't know clockwise from counterclockwise, set that spinning, this spool of line, just set it flat on the floor and do about 10 cranks and then give the line slack.
If it twists,
flip that spool over because it's on the wrong side. If you do about 10 cranks, give it slack, it twists, just turn the spool over and you're good to go.
Okay.
And as you put it on though, keep one hand out here with the line pinched between your fingers, so once again we get tension on that line going on the spool.
Because you don't want slack in that spool.
Yeah, that's where the loops come from.
That's where the loops come from.
We always have to have some tension.
Okay. That is easy enough.
And you cannot believe how many people asked us at that last show, how do I do this right?
Right.
It seemed basic, but it's not. You can mess it up.
You can. And it can be the difference in a good day and a rough one.
It can be. You're right.
It'd be really irritating.
Now, I've always done it the way you said, turn about 10 cranks and then let down, and if it spirals up, twists up, I flip it over.
Right.
So I've always done that. I don't have as much problem with it, but I know a bunch of people that did.
Yeah.
It would be like, we'll spool it out, and drag behind the boat, and we'll drive it for about a fourth of a third of a mile, and then you can pull it in.
Those guys that put it on with the spool upside down the wrong way, those are the ones you're going to see dragging their line behind the boat.
That's exactly right.
Guaranteed.
That's exactly right. Well, I tell you what we got next is our products of the week.
That's right. This week's products of the week is being brought to you by Candy Fork Outdoors. You get down there and see Ryan and his group of folks down there at the Old Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center here at the National Store. Go up there and see Joel and the rest of the family, and
he gave me the
see
flu.
them at Big Rock. Yeah, and he is giving out the flu.
He's giving out the flu this year.
Oh man! This week's product, actually, this is from Mossy Oak Graphics, and this is their shotgun skin that they have out now. And
hot little ticket item.
It is, and I actually took one and put it on a shotgun this past week. I just heated it up using a hair dryer. It went on very simple, and it's on there. What's nice is you can actually pull it off and reapply it and things like that. So it's
pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. It creates a waterproof barrier, and it's pretty neat. If you were to submerge it or something, they suggest pull it off. But that's what neat. You pull it off and clean it up and put it back on. So.
Can I tell you what I'm tickled about, though, that you and I both noticed at the same time?
What's that?
They're bringing back some of the older patterns.
They are.
I love it.
And if you have a little piece of it left over, you can make your own.
Yes.
Your own cover there. Yeah, the old patterns. This is actually what I use.
That's an old pattern.
I'm the same way. I love these old patterns.
I love the old
I like
patterns.
seeing them come back and get popular again. So
yeah, I mean, we killed a lot of animals and stuff like that with that old pattern.
That's what we grew up with.
That's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
So a lot of us like the nostalgia of it.
I do. I really do.
So,
but we're going to take a break. We'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.